I'm being distracted because I can't... You have quite a healthy beard,
What?
Jake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like, did you leave it on from last year's Movember? I mean, it's very... It's big. Is it just a fashion thing?
No, I'm doing a show. I'm doing a play in New York City right now. So I am playing a character who's...
It's not very good tonight, is it?
We're on hiatus. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
OK.
Yes.
No. So how long are you going to have the beard for?
Until the play is over.
Oh, OK.
Probably another few weeks.
Do you like it?
Do you want me to let you know when it's gone?
If you could.
No problem.
Yeah.
I'll give you a call.
Yeah.
It's gone. That's it. I'll give you a call. I'll let you know.
Just a text with, it's done. That's all I need. That's all I need.
Is it itchy?
No, not anymore.
And do you have to, like, brush it out? Do stuff get caught in it?
Listen, sometimes I brush it, yes.
Yeah. Look, I have a dog.
Sometimes
I have a
things
dog,
do
and you leave it for a while, and then you're really sorry you
So
left
then
it.
think about it this way. I essentially have a dog on my face. So, and if that answers all of your questions, I hope it does.
It's well groomed. I don't know if you're feeding it, but it's lovely. It's got a nice gloss. Because, Joan, do you find a man in a beard attractive? Do you like it? No. Oh.
It reminds me too much of the Kardashians in the morning. And it just...
There's the boys down the end there. Now, I see you seem like, you know, men. I thought you'd have beards.
No, we went to the North Pole, when you can't shave. We drove to the North Pole, and you can't shave, obviously, there. And we got there, and there was a very faint, dirty smudge. And that was it. It took us weeks and weeks and weeks, and nothing grows. I have no testosterone at all. Fundamentally a girl.
But when you reach a certain age, hair grows on a woman. I mean, I've got 5 o'clock shadow on my ass. It's just...
I just got a beard in my ears. Do you get that?
I got a beard in my
Yes.
ears.
I got a beard, I mean, my
I got a beard in
nose.
here.
Men always say, I've lost my hair. You say, look in your ears.
I just want to take a moment and say that that's a moment I will never forget for the rest of my life.
What?
What she just said. She has a 5 o'clock shadow. Where did you say it?
On my ass.
On your ass. That's a moment I will never forget for the rest of my life.
In some cultures, it's attractive. I haven't found the culture, but in some cultures, it's very attractive.
Jake? Gyllenhaal. It's Gyllen.
It's Gyllenhaal.
It's a
That's
Gyllenhaal.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's
Because people... Is it particularly in Britain people have problems with your name?
Yeah, I mean, I have run into a couple people, usually under the influence, who have pronounced it, you know, not in the right way. You know, particularly a drunk woman once came up to me and thought that my name was Jake Googleballs, which was... I knew I had made it then.
And here you are. You're from LA. You spend a lot of time in London, don't you?
I do. I've worked here a lot, yeah. I love it here in London. I love it in England in general. Some of my closest friends are British. That's why I have such good style.
Oh, yeah. That lady nearly lost it. She was, as I was going through the list of your credits, she was going, say Henry Cavill! Say Henry Cavill! He's here, look, he's right there. That's your life. And listen, talking of that, isn't there a park where you go to walk?
Yes, yes. There is someone... I haven't seen this gentleman ever, so if you're watching, please listen up. He does a Lois Lane impression whenever I'm walking my dog in the park. And he screams at the top of his voice, shouting, "Help me, save me, Superman, save me." And I've still never seen him.
Yeah,
And he's done it 20, 25 times.
like, annoying, but also quite funny.
Yes. It's tough not to smile.
Jake seems so balanced, so, you know, you see, does
I-
anything kind of grind your gears?
Nothing. I'm always so calm, and I have it so together at all times.
Are you really?
Yes.
I believe you.
I hate nothing. Everything's so beautiful.
Oh.
What a wonderful world.
Look at Joan's face. It doesn't take much to set you off, Joan. Like, why do you hate women with prams?
Why? Because they take up the whole street. And when they have, like, those stupid twins... And out of the way, I have twins, you know, I have the right... You know, if you had maybe given your husband a blowjob instead of sex, we could stay on the sidewalk.
What was your nickname at school?
My nickname in school was Fat Cavill. Which was a very apt nickname, considering my name was indeed Cavill and I was indeed fat.
But, like, how lardy were you?
I mean, my dad always said from the age of about 13, I stayed the same weight until I was 25. I just got taller.
OK, so you were enormously fat at 13.
I don't know about enormously fat.
You were
but
morbidly
definitely-
obese. You could have died.
Right.
But now, the odd thing about kind of this movie is that, Russell, you met Fat Cavill.
He definitely wasn't Fat Cavill when I met him at 16, no. But we were shooting here in London a movie called Proof of Life in 2000. And there was the opening sequence of the film was shot at Stowe College, you know. And we went out there and there was a kid there called Merlin Hanbury Tennyson who was playing my son. And in a break of the shooting, you know, which was actually, there was a rugby union game going on and there was one kid on that field who was very fluid and in control. So it actually caught my eye and I was watching it. Then that kid that was fluid and in control came over to have a chat. But all his questions were about acting, you know. And there was just a smile in his eyes, but there was something dead serious behind that smile. So instead of not answering the questions or whatever, because you get asked these questions 100,000 times, I told him the truth, you know, in the brief moment that I had with him. And put it in front of him that, you know, it's a challenge that's up to him, you know. Nobody's going to give it to you. A couple of days later, I was putting a package together for the kid who played my son, because I figured the greatest thing if you're at boarding school must be unexpected mail, right? You know?
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll put one together for that other bloke. And I remembered his name because he'd been very clear when he said it. He didn't say, "Hi, I'm Fat Cavill," but he did say, "Hi."
You should have done. That wouldn't have the same sort of, you know, power to the message, would it?
Yeah.
Dear Fat Cavill.
So, and what I
Fat Cavill is Superman.
It's very interesting because I had two of the same photographs, and for the one that I wrote for Merlin, I put on it, "You come from a long line of generals." There's a photograph from Gladiator. He went and joined the army. 3 tours of Afghanistan later, and now he does close personal security here in London.
Wow.
And on Henry's, I put, "Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Basically, you know, if you want it, you go and get it, you know?
Yeah.
12 years later, and it was probably 3 months into working together, you know, I finally said to him, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And he got this little smile in his eyes and he went, "Do you remember going to Stowe School?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Do you remember a kid that came and talked to you about acting?" I went, "Yeah." He goes, "That's me." I said, "Really? What did I say?" And he said, "Well, you said they pay you pretty well, but they treat you like shit." And I said, "Yes, Henry. That's exactly what I said. How are you?"
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
That is so weird. But, and as I say, your performance is fabulous, but also, you know, Forrest Whitaker and Rachel McAdams.
Yes.
Everyone is flawless. But whether good or bad, you know, Arnie's right. So much attention is going to be given to this transformation.
Oh, yeah.
Comments. Did you know you could end up looking like that?
No, I mean, the goal was to learn how to box. I didn't know how to box before I started this movie. So the goal was just, I spent 5 months, and then I decided I didn't have enough time, so if I did it 2 times a day, I would spread it out into 10 months, you know? So I went and I learned the methodology and the techniques of boxing, and then slowly got into shape. It was a pretty slow progression over 5 months where, you know, by the end, we trained up to, the first part of shooting was all the fights. So I trained up to the beginning of shooting.
And do you kind of tail off, or do you just stop the minute the film's going? You're like, whoa!
I just really did just stop.
Oh, really?
I was really over it.
So no one talked you through kind of like, okay, well, let's cut it back to like 4 hours a week or...
No, everybody left. Everyone was like, "Great job, we got in the can, go." And then that was it. And I was left alone. And I just sat there, sort of, you know, no. That was it.
So the training that went into this, I don't know how fit you were before. And presumably you all had to do training for this.
I did not.
Nothing.
Well, there was 4 of us who were on the same kind of hellish contract.
Yeah.
We actually had to sign a deal with Warner Brothers that we would only eat the food that they supplied for about 3.5 months. So that was a bit odd.
Did you really do that?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow,
It
that must
it
be
was pretty
so
tough.
hard.
I
But
wish
they had a
someone would have
great,
supplied my meals for 4.5 months. I had a newborn. I was like, that would have been great.
Because this is obviously you with your shirt off. Now, how long, again, I don't know what you looked like beforehand, but like how long did it take to be that?
To get to that stage,
Yeah.
it took 5 months of pre-production training, and that was about 4 months into shooting. Yeah, so 9 months.
Wow. And if you were just to slip off your clothes now, what would you... What Amy going, yeah! It's TV, this would be great, it'll go viral. What would you look like? Do you still look like that?
No, I look nothing like that now.
Oh.
That's sort of... that's Superman shape. And it's great for the role of Superman, but not for much else, really.
And was it after that scene that you were given a food amnesty? You had a food pass?
It was after a scene which follows just after that in the movie, chronologically. And, yeah, after that I had a full apple pie. Debbie and Zack Snyder bought me an apple pie, a tub of ice cream, and a large pizza, followed by the best food coma of my life.
You know, it is a dangerous place, as you say, and you went... I don't think the British police would let you do this, but you went on these kind of ride-alongs at night with the real policemen.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times a week for 5 months, we would go on ride-alongs with police officers in Southeast LA, and we would alternate between 4 or 5 different sets of partners over those 5 months. And so we saw a lot of things when we were on the streets.
And that must have been on too, because you know, if there's a raid or something, or there's a call, an emergency, and you arrive, and someone's going, "My husband just beat me up." Oh wait, Jake Gyllenhaal's here. This time I am leaving you. Did you get that?
No, that never happened. Fortunately, people have more important things to deal with when the police arrive.
But then I get a lot of that preparation. That's very diligent.
Yeah,
well done.
Yes.
Why did you get tasered?
Because I'm an idiot. I don't know. Because we were in a group. We were at the police academy in Los Angeles, and they offered us to either be pepper sprayed or to be tasered, and we chose for short. Huh?
Could you not have chosen neither?
C.
Yeah, none of the above.
That is actually a choice we could have made. And unfortunately, we're actors, so we're not the sharpest tools in the shed. And we all decided to go for quick and painful as opposed to long and painful. And that's what we did. We all got tasered. Every single one of us got tasered.
But why?
Well, we spent
Would
There
you
is
like to
no
be tased?
logical explanation for why we did.
So that you'd know what it was like?
Yes.
Well,
The
why
whole-
don't you just act? That's, I guess, is it like...
There is the idea that experiencing it does influence the sense of realism in a movie, and I think actually does in this movie. In this movie, you feel like you're with us in a car, and that was our goal. And to get tasered for all of you.
Is that going to be on the DVD extras?
Actually, it may.
I'm getting that DVD right now. I'm just straight to extras.
How bad does it feel? Is it really, like, terrible?
Yeah, it's terrible.
We sort of knew that, though, didn't we?
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it. People ask me that more than you think.
Yeah.
Is it really that bad?
This is nice. I'm quite enjoying this. Oh, no, wait, I'm supposed to fall over and writhe around so I can be arrested now.
There was actually the moment where they didn't shoot it at us like you see in movies. They actually put it in our pocket and in our legs so that it wouldn't, hit our face or something like that. And so they said, we're going to do it for 5 seconds. And I said, okay.
That's a long time.
That's the amount of time you have to do to pass the taser test, I think. And so, no, there's a taser test there. You have to be. And so they put it on us, and I remember feeling it and screaming like a little child, pretty quickly. And I was like, how long was that? And they said that was 1.5 seconds. That was forever. That's what I remember thinking, but yeah. That was,
Does we come out and stuff?
what?
That sounds like a Wii situation. That sounds like, oh.
Are you talking about the video game, or are you talking about... Yeah, no, not for me.
Well
No.
done.
Yeah.
You're young. Yeah. I think the rest of us, we'd let go. Yeah.
Pretty much I'm doing at the thought of it.
I'm holding on by a thread. A lot, I think more than normal this time round, a lot's been made about Superman's disguise as Clark Kent.
Yeah.
And how really light it is. It's a very light disguise.
Seemingly so.
Really.
Yeah.
Like, I've got the glasses, so if you just pop them on so we can see the difference that the glasses make, just pass them down. Here we go.
Prepare to be amazed.
Where's Henry gone? That's really creepy, crazy. Is it like...
It's even creepy when you say it in that voice.
Because it is one of those things, it's amazing that they haven't come up with some sort of backstory or, like, you kind of think in 2016 they wouldn't just put you in some glasses and say, and no one will know who you are. But actually, didn't you do an experiment?
I did indeed. Yeah, to be a counterpoint to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
To just prove you wrong, in fact. A friend of mine and I were discussing the idea of these glasses not being good enough disguise. And we decided to go to Times Square to test the theory. I wore a Superman T-shirt and no glasses and stood underneath the giant wraparound Batman v Superman posters in Times Square.
I think we've got a picture. Oh, there you are.
There you
go. Yeah.
And took a bunch of other photos and some video as well, and got stopped twice. Once by someone exiting the subway asking for directions to Central Station. And the other time was in a coffee shop where someone said, "Could you please stop taking photos?" And that was it.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's apparently very easy to do.
Can I say, you just look really,
that, I have
you
an
look really
incredibly
comfortable.
boring
You look
face.
really comfortable in those glasses.
And smart.
Yeah, oh, for once.
and superhero get superhero outfits, and you liked yours.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Holy
Like, you
cow.
wore it more than you were meant to, didn't you?
He'd never take it off.
There's not a scene I don't wear it in.
And did they offer you other clothes?
Yeah. Graham, let me ask you something. If they offered you that, would you ever take
No.
that off?
I would never take it off. I would never take it off.
Do you fly in this movie?
Yes, but I fly generally anyway.
Yeah. And you've done this thing. You've made yourself into, a big action star. You do all this stuff now. But it sounds like you got an early start. You grew up with these four brothers.
Yes.
And you think, oh, four brothers, bit of rough and tumble. Your house sounds more than that. It was intense.
We were living on the edge of survival most of the time. My dad, some of you may have heard this before, my dad came home from work once upon a time and he realised that the wallpaper had changed, and this pissed him off a little bit. So he was like, hold on a second, why are you changing the wallpaper? Without any kind of discussion about it. And so he went to my mum and said, why'd we change the wallpaper? And she quite simply just said, it's easier to clean the blood off this wallpaper.
I mean, like, when games involve blood splatter, I feel like that's...
It was a lot of rough and tumble. Never any punching in the face. That was the rule. No face punches, but there's still
Just
a lot
stabbing.
of bleeding.
Just stabbing.
I mean, when you have stairs, a lot can happen. A lot of injuries can happen on stairs.
I mean, is this ringing bells? Because you grew up with brothers.
I mean, there was never blood. Yeah, my brother... On Spider-Man 3, I have this really quite intense sequence with Doc Ock where I'm upside down and he's, like, battering me into this wall just constantly. And I was upside down all day for 11 hours, and, like, honestly, I really have nothing to complain about. You know, being Spider-Man has changed my life, but I am absolutely going to complain about this day. It was brutal. You know, I was upside down, the blood's rushing to your head, you're in a harness, the director's saying, can you just turn your head that way? And you're like, oh, fuck off, mate, like, a bit later. So anyway, so you come down, I'm driving home at the end of the day, and I'm complaining, I'm whinging about the day. I'm like, I'm so tired, and he's working me so hard, and I just want a break. And my brother Harry's like, mate, you're Spider-Man, suck it up and get on with it, you'll be fine. So the next day on set, I'm chatting to the director about the week's work coming, and he's telling me about this scene. They need a young person to play a burglar who Spider-Man's going to catch. And he's going, do you think Harry would want to do it? I'm like, bollocks to Harry, he's doing it. So we hire Harry, we've cast Harry, he's on set. I go up to the stunt coordinator and I'm like, please, just whatever you do with the stunt, make it so that he's upside down. So we're doing this scene, Harry's upside down, swinging back and forward, and bless him, he's doing a really good job, and as the day is going on, he's got these lines, and he's starting to forget his lines, and his eyes are out, they're gonna pop out of his head. So we're driving home that day, and I was actually really proud of him, but he's driving home that day, and he's like, mate, you can complain as much as you want. That was brutal. And I was like, well, mate, you know, but the icing on the cake, and I don't think he actually knows this, we saw the film the other day, and they've cut the scene. It's not in the film.
I love nothing's made Tom laugh more than that.
He said to me, he goes, you know, mate, it was really tough, but I was just really excited about being in a Spider-Man movie. Sucks to be you, bro.
And your performance is brilliant. All the performances are brilliant, but bits of it can't be acting. I mean, bits of it are just, you know, you didn't use stunt doubles. You're just being pummeled.
Yeah.
Are you so hyped up when you're doing those scenes that it doesn't hurt, or are you just going, ow, a lot?
Yeah, that's in the movie. In the middle of the fight scenes, I'm just like, you get, ow!
Oh, wow. What are you doing?
It's so authentic, you know? No, you know, Antoine Fuqua, who directed the movie, wanted it to be real. He wanted to shoot it like you would shoot a real fight. And so, inevitably, we knew that, you know, that there'd be some real fighting involved when you get hit. And, you know, that is what happens when we have a crowd like we have, like there is tonight. There was a crowd like that. So when you get kind of fired up, you kind of believe in that moment that you can do a lot of things that you can't. And when you get hit, you don't feel it like it hurts until afterwards. And then you just hope they got it on film, you know. But it is like, you know, it's like this, you know. It feels like a stage, and then you go for it.
Henry, this is your first film with Tom Cruise, but it wasn't meant to be. You were supposed to be in another film with Tom Cruise.
Well, we had the opportunity, yes. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Originally, Tom was playing Napoleon Solo, and I auditioned for Armie Hammer's role, Ilya Kuryakin. And I went to Tom's house in LA, which is very surreal, by the way, when you're trying to make things work as in your career and you get in a taxi in LA and you feel like saying, take me to Tom Cruise's house. So you give him an address and you turn up and there's this big gates everywhere and it's obviously a nice area.
I imagine it's nice.
He's done very well for himself.
Yeah. Garden's nice. He keeps it nice. Yeah. That lawn is cut. The hanging basket's gorgeous.
I got to meet Tom then, and we read through some lines with Guy Ritchie in his house, and it was still just very surreal for me, thinking, I'm sitting here with Guy Ritchie and Tom Cruise in Tom Cruise's house.
Yeah.
Like, when will I stop sweating?
I'm leaving stains.
Yeah. I left a real good impression.
But then you got the Tom Cruise role, and so now you're Man from U.N.C.L.E., Mission Impossible, two big franchises. And you've talked to us before about how close the James Bond thing came, that you were down to the final two. But I like the thing you did then when you got your first kind of big paycheck with your dad.
Oh, yeah. When I got my first big paycheck, and it'd been a few years, I've been working as an actor for a few years, and...
How much was it?
Don't ask him. That's so Swedish.
200 or 300 pounds. So I went back to Jersey with my dad, and I thought, I want to treat myself. You know, I haven't actually got myself anything, and we were discussing what to do with it. And he said, how about a car? I was still driving my Peugeot 206, the first car I ever had. And I was like, you know, it's time to upgrade. This thing struggles uphill at this stage. And went to the local fancy garage, and there was a number of nice cars there, and the R8, Audi R8 was one which really stood out to me. I thought, this is a great car. I was looking at it, and my dad was sort of pausing around this other car, and in the really nice section. And I was like, what are you doing over there? And he said, I'm just looking at this car. And I was like, oh, yeah, wow, this is really nice. Yeah, one day, huh? And he went, And I said, what do you mean? He went, well, I mean, I'm sure we can make this work. And I was like, it's an Aston Martin DBS. Like, you can't just make this work. You can't toy with my emotions like that. It either can or can't. And he's like, well, you know, yeah, I think it could be a thing, but, you know, think about it. Think about what car you want. They're two different cars. And I was like, I'm not thinking about anything. It's an Aston Martin DBS. And so that was my second car.
That's quite a trajectory. Yes. But now I'm thinking, though, does it stay on Jersey so your dad gets to drive it all the time?
I've now forbade him from driving it.
OK.
A couple of near scrapes. Oh. But it does actually stay on Jersey, yes.
But I do like this idea of that, you know, because everyone struggles and then suddenly, oh, I've got a bit of money.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with my first big paycheck? Rebecca, do you remember what you did with yours?
I bought a... God, I wish it was something more cool. I bought a pair of Dior sunglasses, and then they got stolen the day after, but they left the case.
I bought an Aston Martin. I bought some sunglasses.
But they were really nice.
Tom Cruise, do you remember what you did with your first kind of check where you noticed you had some money in the bank?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that you answered that question. Can you say, is it a terrible thing?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
I actually paid for my college, my sister's college education. And...
Oh, that's so him! Wow, Henry.
I did. And the next one, I bought my other sister a car.
Yeah. But your sister a car, not yourself.
No.
That's my Aston Martin.
His dad's Aston Martin.
Yeah, it's his dad. Yeah. Actually, yeah, you should change that to I bought my dad an Aston Martin, because that's actually what happened.
I do feel like I've been set up a little bit.
Simon Pegg, what did you?
I bought...
Make it up.
No, this is true. I bought a second-hand
Orphanage.
A second-hand orphanage. I kicked all those little out.
That's my pop Aston Martin now.
I bought a second-hand Mazda MX-5 with my Switch card. It was my first paycheck for Big Train, which was a sketch show on BBC Two, and I bought a car with my Switch card, which was like a little debit card.
Yeah.
You remember that?
See, I thought you'd have bought something kind of more nerd, like a Death Star made of Lego or something. That seemed to be where you'd go shopping.
I did once buy a Darth Vader helmet, which cost more, but that was slightly later.